Welcome back to the Sidebar podcast. I'm so excited because we have our first real guest, our first proper guest. He is one of Norwich's best and most loved comedians. He is the owner of Humour Comedy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. And Britain's Got Talent alumni as well.
Yeah.
This is Martin Westgate.
Hi.
I'm not very good at editing, so we won't edit any clips.
I'll
over
go
that,
for it.
so,
That's fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
good. This is
thanks for
exciting.
coming. Yeah, have you done many podcasts before?
Yeah, a few. I used to do a podcast.
Did you? So you've probably done more than what I have.
Probably, yeah.
This is episode 4.
Oh, sweet, yeah. I'm making notes, don't worry.
Yeah,
I'll
good.
feedback.
Good. Yeah. Well, we have mentioned you on the Sidebar before as Norwich's most adequate comedian.
Yes, I remember. Yeah. Which I think is fine. I think that's a lovely,
yeah,
lovely way to sum me up.
Obviously, now that you're here, I also played around with the phrase Norwich's most available.
Yeah. Yeah, in many ways, Rob. Available not only for the circuit, but in a sexual way as well. That's available to anyone who would have me.
Anyone at all.
Anyone. Yeah, and that, again, it goes for circuit and sexually. Anyone who would have me. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Oh, can we swear on this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think we could swear.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I mean, you think it's your podcast.
Yeah, well, I normally swear.
But
the good thing is I can't get monetized until like 12 months down. I think I need like 3,000 subscribers or something.
Okay. And you've given yourself 12 months for that, have you?
Yeah. So they can't monetize me yet, which also means they can't demonetize me yet. So we can say whatever we want.
Nice. Right, let's talk about the Middle East.
But let's not get me cancelled before we get going. So first thing that we like to do is talk about the beer that we're going to drink on the thing. Here, I've got a glass for you as well, because this is going to be important in a moment. And which we'll go into more details about why later, but I did pick BrewDog.
Oh, why did you pick that one?
That's where. So we have a saying that we use quite a lot, which is we love a Wednesday, just because we get drunk on a Wednesday, and that all stemmed from us coming to one of the Humour Comedy nights every Wednesday at BrewDog. And now we say that we love a Wednesday.
Perfect.
That's because we spent at least 2 months coming almost every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Seeing the same comedians over and over doing the same material.
No, there was new material. That's the whole point of it. It's not you make it out like it's a tired thing.
No. I really like it because there's one of the comedians that come on, Louis Green, incredible comedian.
Yep.
And I've seen his Edinburgh Fringe set that he's going to be doing next year.
Yep. Maybe
5 different times, and every time you can see how it's evolved. When I think back on the first time we saw it, when he took his top off. Oh, actually, I won't ruin it in case he plans to.
No, I think legally he's not allowed to take his clothes off anymore. So he's been advised not to do that.
Right, sure.
But yeah, no, he did. Yeah, it's nice. That's the whole point of BrewDog. I know we're interrupting your pool thing. That's the whole point of that night is so comedians come on and try, and even if they just tweak a line once a week, and eventually it's a whole new set, and it's something quite nice.
So that's why I love watching you do yours as well. It's because you bring your paper on and a pen, and you say your joke, and then you look around, and then you go, and you cross it out. And that's one of my favourite bits.
And then I do all the same set again next week, and pretend it's all new.
Cross the same.
Yeah. Eventually, it'll freaking work, but not today.
Cool. Well, yeah. Cool. Let's go into this. So we do. We like to do a thing called the pour off. And the pour off is essentially, and it works best with beers and lagers as well. Is who can pour the best pint, almost not quite a pint, but I think I'll let you go first. Okay. How are your pint pouring skills?
Well, I used to work in a bar for 2 weeks. I say bar, it was Fatso's on the Heartsease.
Okay.
Behind the bar.
Is Fatso's still there?
Yeah.
Is it? It used to be Tommy T's. I remember it as Tommy T's before Fatso's. Yeah.
I mean, I've still got some left in there.
I mean, that's not bad though. Something tells me it's about to be a lot better than mine. This is obviously. Oh, I've spilt it. This is my. Yeah, you've won. This is my podcast, and I've lost every pour off so far. Although.
I don't go like, although, look at that job. You have got half a pint on a table.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, that's another pour off successfully lost by me. Good. I made some notes as well. There's another thing that we do, which I forgot to do last week. I can't remember why we didn't do it. I think we just didn't think about it. But it's called Song of the Week,
right.
where myself and the guest who's ever on, normally Rowan, who's currently behind the camera, we pick whatever song we've been listening to most that week.
Right, okay.
Have you got a song of the week?
I'm going to have to check. Like,
I know. I should have prepped you.
Yeah.
I should have prepped you for this.
Yeah. It's on the notes to feed back to you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, my song of the week this week has been "Great Balls of Fire" by Jerry Lee Lewis.
Right.
I don't know why. I heard it on Radio 2 in my mum's car the other day, and it's been in my head since.
Where else is it going to be on?
Yeah, exactly. Other than my mum's car.
Girl, All the Bad Guys Want is on Soup. Is something I've been listening to over the weekend, so that's probably my song of the week.
Sliding into a pop punk era.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's on the Hoomer playlist, so if you come to Bowling House, you will hear it. Yeah.
I think we'll do a proper plug for Hoomer in a bit, because I know that a lot of the people that watch are our friends and family, which means that most of them are in or around Norwich.
Perfect.
So we'll try and get you as many people there as possible.
If I just keep saying it, if I do it backwards, as well, and you can play it backwards and say kill yourself or something like that.
Well, cheers. So we have a special cheers that we do as well to make it more awkward.
Is this a podcast or a cult?
Which is top, then bottom, and on the table. There we go. Now you can drink. See, I love a BrewDog. What's your normal? Because obviously you spend a lot of time in BrewDog.
Yeah,
normal go-to?
I mean, I don't tend to drink if I'm gigging, so I wouldn't really drink that much in BrewDog. But I had an obsession with Elvis juice. When I first started going to BrewDogs, Elvis juice was the thing. I tend to have a punk. If I'm going in to gig, I'll just have one punk afterwards, because Elvis juice is a bit keen. It's a bit strong.
Do you find that you perform worse if you have had a couple of drinks?
Yeah, I've only done it. I mean, I gig drunk in Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Rules are off. Then you can do what you want, because you're doing 7 gigs a day, and it's a holiday as well. I had gigged. So I went to watch Ipswich Norwich play when it was on Sky. So I went to the pub, got absolutely smashed, and then went back home for a sleep, which is a mistake to do. You should never sleep. You should plough on. But then I had a gig that night. Okay. So I woke up still drunk, got a lift to the gig, and I emceed, and I can't tell you what I did. And this was a few years ago now, but I genuinely couldn't tell you how the gig went. And that was the only time I have gigged pissed, really.
Haven't seen you perform sober. I can only imagine it couldn't have gone worse.
No, thanks.
I'm only joking. I've always said as well, like, I've always wanted to do comedy. I don't think that I could stand up there in front of people, especially with like actual material that I've written. But I think I could do the MC part of it. I think that would be fine, like talking to people and interacting with people.
The MC, I really enjoy MCing, and you probably have seen me MC more than do a set, to be honest, because you can just talk to them. Yeah. Like, I have my jokes, and I've always wanted to try new material when I'm at BrewDog MCing or doing a set, regardless. But I mean, the MCing is just fun. You just chat, take the piss out of someone, move on. And I think there is a culture now. You may have seen him on TikTok, Paul Smith.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Paul Smith's brought this culture into the circuit now, an expectation to a lot of new comedy goers that you have to be belittled and roasted as an audience member. I mean, there's always that culture of stand-up going back to the dinosaurs that you would get picked on a bit. But I think Paul Smith has brought that even more, that you are cannon fodder as an audience. So I think there's an expectation now to be roasted by the MC.
Well, I think like most of the big comedians do it. You look at like how Jimmy Carr interacts with the audience. Even like on slightly more wholesome shows like Peter Kay, back in like his prime. My parents went and saw him over the weekend actually in London, and said that he's still exactly the same. He's still doing some of his older material still, but he's still like roasting the audience, like talking to the audience at the very least. What would you say are sort of your favourite? Because the reason I ask is my favourite comedy special is an old Jim Jeffries special that he did. I can't remember what it was, but it was back in the day when he was still drinking and taking coke and doing whatever. And now that he's sobered up, I find him less funny.
Yeah, maybe the substances was a bit of a crutch for him to be funny. Who knows? Who knows? Another reason why I don't sort of get drunk. I don't want to use that as a crutch.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a bit old school, really. Like I don't really like a lot of American. I know Jim is an Aussie, obviously, but does a lot of his time in America. So time like his prison sentence, but he's Australian in America, so I'm sure something's gone wrong somewhere. I really like Lee Mack. Lee Mack is kind of up there for what I wanted to be initially as a stand-up. So his first show, which I think was at the Bloomsbury Theatre, I think Lee Mack Live. I think it was a really original title like that. Lee Mack Live. His first sort of tour show, which was on DVD, is just brilliant. He's so quick. Again, he's doing his hour show, but talk to the audience. He's just very quick with them, and I think that has come into my performance a bit. I like to think so anyway. Whether it's not Lee Mack standard, but I try and replicate that. But I like Lee Mack a lot, and I think if you haven't watched, give him a go.
Yeah, is that the one where he does the mime and playing the piano and the drums? Is that on that?
That's
one?
Lee Evans, but that's different Lee, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, no, that is Lee Evans. Yeah, no, Lee Mack. So yeah.
I like it. I think everyone had a Lee Evans stage growing up.
Yeah.
And then you grow up. And you realise, I mean, Lee Evans is great, but
it's his energy. He just sweats constantly.
Two suits a show.
I
used to work for Homebase and in London, and my GM, my store manager, worked at River Island or Peacocks, and sold Lee Evans his first suit for his DVD.
Wow.
Which is a weird anecdote and his claim to fame, and I think he needed to get out more.
That's
what we decided from that.
Yeah, good. Perfect. Well, we've known each other obviously quite a long time. We were in high school. Obviously, I was considerabably older than you. I still am.
You still are. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how numbers work. You knew my sister as well. I think you used to date my sister in high school.
Well, she wanted to date me. It's definitely that way around.
Okay. We also, and Rowan didn't know this, I mentioned this earlier before you came round. We did Sea Cadets.
We did,
together for a while. And then I quit, and you went on to actually be in the Navy. Was that it?
Yeah, I went into the Merchant Navy, which the Sea Cadets was geared up for almost the Royal Navy, which is the military side of things. I went civilian, so I went cruise ships, tankers, ferries, all the other stuff. But yeah, did it properly. I didn't. I did a 3-year cadetship and then started comedy and bailed on it. That's what happened. But yeah, no, I enjoyed cadets. But you were there for a couple of years?
Yeah, I was there 3.5 years. Yeah. It was me and Chris Ablett.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. And then I think his little brother came for a couple of weeks and then bottled it. But yeah, then obviously I knew you knocking about in high school as well. And then I didn't see you ever. And then I think I bumped into you and you had a child and you were doing comedy.
Yeah.
And that was, you were this big, and we used to call you Project 9.
Well remembered,
Project 9. I think because you wore a t-shirt.
Still got the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit me anymore.
No.
But no, I've still got that. Yeah, well remembered.
Yeah.
No, it was a big void couple of years, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Quite a few years. And then I think it was Sainsbury's Pound Lane, I think.
Yeah.
I bumped into you there.
Sounds about right.
I'm sure it was Sainsbury's, one of the Sainsbury's. And yeah, I had a little. I don't say his name on stuff, but sure. Karen. I had Karen with me, and yeah, it was nice seeing you.
Yeah.
Now I can't get rid of you.
I know.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Now I turn up every Wednesday. Although that's commitment.
It was nice seeing you.
Dressed like what?
A pimp.
I wasn't a pimp. I was wearing my fur coat. It was cold.
Have you seen his fur coat?
It was on the last episode.
It was. Use the number below. Phone in. Pimp, yay or nay?
Yeah.
Leave
Comment below whether you think I look like a pimp.
Take the coat off or leave the coat on.
Yeah.
I can see this going to a public vote, and the public are always right.
Wrong.
Okay.
It's been a long time. Then you started doing comedy. What made you get into comedy?
I think I always did drama. I mean, Zoe and I were in the same drama class. I say the same drama class, like there was multiple drama classes. There was one drama class.
Yeah.
But I think even from that stage, I wanted to be the funny roles. I wanted to do the funny parts. I wanted to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I was brought up on Monty Python, Blackadder, Harry Hill, all that. Dad put them on for us to watch, and I always quite like the idea of making people laugh. And then was up in Edinburgh on a ship during August, so during the Edinburgh Fringe. Got some shore leave, went saw some shows, and went, do you know what? I quite like this. This looks good. Went back to college for my college phases when I was in the Merchant Navy, found an open mic night and did it, really.
Wow.
I mean, I was writing jokes while I was still working at home base before I joined the Merchant Navy. So I think it was always going to happen, but I just didn't know what to do with these jokes that I was writing, because Norwich has never really had a comedy circuit until now.
Yeah.
Thanks to me. No, it's had things. It had Red Card. Gonzo's always been around. They've had nights, but there's never been a consistent circuit in Norwich. So comedy always seemed quite unattainable. It's always like the tour shows at the Theatre Royal or the Playhouse. Yeah. That was Norwich's introduction to comedy.
Yeah.
So I was writing these jokes and I don't know what to do with it. I'll never do comedy because it's unattainable. And then went to Edinburgh. Went to see Mark Simmons. Those on TikTok will know him. He's very good, and he had 12 people in his show. I've told this story, so it's fine. But he had 12 people in his show, and I thought, well, this if he can do it, this seems very, very doable now.
More attainable.
Yeah, but I didn't realise at the time, 12 people at Edinburgh is actually good going.
But is it?
Yeah, okay. And he was kind of starting out himself at that point anyway. I think he was probably 5 years in, which in terms of comedy is a baby still. Yeah. Then did a open mic night in Winchester, and it went well enough for me to carry on, and I've won more than I've lost in terms of gigs, so that's why I've sort of carried on, really.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, I quite enjoy comedy. It's nice.
Good.
It's a good job.
I think now's a great time to bring up your, I would say, almost iconic Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when I saw you on there, and I was living with my parents at the time, and because I was in my late 20s, and in Norwich that's what you do, and I was living with my parents at the time, and we all sat around watching Britain's Got Talent, and you popped on screen. It's like, what's going on? I was like, isn't that Project? And then we watched you start bantering back and forth with the judges, and we're like, oh, this is gonna be good.
And that's where you should have stopped.
Yeah, we're like, they've given him an interview before, and they only do it if he's really bad. And then when you were quite good going back and forth, we were like, this is gonna be incredible. He's gonna get the golden buzzer. I don't know if that was a thing back then, but
I think it was. Yeah.
And then
yeah, it's weird. I mean, you say the golden buzzer. Yes, there is, because the act before me was the father and son from Spixworth.
Oh, fun.
And they got the golden buzzer.
Jack and Tim.
Yeah. So as I was waiting in the wings, they were cleaning the gold confetti away, and I walk in. Okay, maybe not, slightly different. And so you know my ex. She came to watch, and it's on the video. Yeah. She's face palming as the fourth X goes up, so she was really proud. She sat there, and she sat next to the mother of the young lad from Norwich.
Oh, right.
And they got talking, like, meet Martin's from Norwich and they're from, wouldn't it be great if two people from Norwich, and then the four X's go up, and she apparently turns to the X and just goes, oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a shame. The thing is, as well, and I don't want to grow your head too big, but I've seen you perform, and you're very good at comedy. So what happened?
So the issue is, I did that 18 months into comedy.
Oh, okay.
So that was way too soon. It was 2018.
And you went with the dad jokes.
That's what I was doing at the time. So even if you saw me at a live gig back then, it would have been a lot different to what it is now. I've been doing comedy about 7 years now.
Yeah.
And in that time you grow loads. Like with anything, if you're a plumber, you become a better plumber in 7 years than you do if you start. I'll use that as a really bad example. But 18 months in, very different. They also tell you what to do in terms of jokes.
Okay.
They script it a lot. You don't have that freedom.
Yeah.
Comedy doesn't really work in terms of having that interview and then doing your stuff. It works with musicians because it's not, you get it's a, you don't talk like that all the time playing a guitar, do you? But I don't talk in one-liners all the time. So it is slightly different to have that gap.
Yeah.
But it was just way too soon. Way too soon. That was the thing.
Would you ever go back?
I've asked to go back. I want to go back next series.
Right.
but I think I've been blacklisted.
Okay.
So in my other role as an agent, working for this agency at the moment, one of the producers said that I had actually pissed David off by my banter.
Oh, no.
And I don't think David would want me back if it was down to him.
Well, from what I hear, David isn't back. Have
No.
you heard this?
So, yes. So my quips of calling him, we'll use the word nonce, why not?
Yeah.
Implying it isn't too far from the truth, I hear on the grapevine.
Yeah.
And was maybe slightly reinforced by another producer or runner I met on the circuit.
Wow.
We won't go that far because you haven't got a legal team to fight that. So it's all alleged.
I don't. Allegedly, that is not the view of Sidebar.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's rumours on the circuit. I like to hear of anything. There's rumours on the circuit that may not be too far from the truth.
Okay. Interesting.
Whether it's Jimmy Savile-esque, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Let's not go that far. But I may have been in the right ballpark.
Wow.
Unknowingly, because I didn't know at the time. But I will claim, if it comes out on a panorama, I will be there going, I told you so. I told everyone, I told you,
that.
It's me. And they stopped me. They stopped me going ITV. It was bad. Like I got a lot of abuse online for doing it. Like it's I've got a bit about it in my routine. But genuinely, I've got a lot of people slagging me off on Twitter and YouTube and shit like that. And they didn't help. Like on their social media, they stuck on there like, I can't remember the words exactly. They did remove it, in fairness to them, but they sort of said, look how bad Martin is, sort of thing in the way they described it on their social media. Right. And I phoned them up and said, look, I get that you own me for those 5 minutes. I signed a contract, but I don't think the way you're phrasing these things is necessarily helping. Like, you imagine if, and I think this was before the Love Island incident, where there was deaths on Love Island, people being flagged and stuff. So I kind of said, look, if I was someone slightly, I don't use the word weaker, but if I wasn't as switched on as some people might be, you could have someone have a breakdown the way that you're framing it. And to be fair, they took it down. And then there's other comedians that got rung up the next series saying, oh, could you come on the show? And they said, no, not after what you did to my mate. And I went, oh, who's your mate? And Martin Westgate. And they put the phone down.
That's why they won't let you back.
So that's the real reason. And actually, scouts have come to Norwich since for BGT, and they've been told, don't worry about Martin. Wow. So within 18 months of doing comedy, I got blacklisted from one of the only TV programmes.
That's the dream, though.
I got cancelled before it was popular.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, 2018, I was the first comedian to get cancelled.
Not the last though.
Just trendsetter, Rob. So,
Well, obviously earlier I made the joke that you're the most adequate and available comedian in Norwich. There is some great comedians. I've already mentioned. I don't know if any of these are from Norwich. They're just people that I've seen in Norwich. Okay. Louis Green,
not from Norwich.
Okay, he does a lot of humour.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
He lives in Felixstowe.
It's fucking miles away.
But it's not. I mean, you say this, it's not for us lot, because I've got a radius of like a 6-hour round trip in one day. So I'll go to Birmingham and back for a gig. Wow. Typically. Yeah. So Felixstowe, Norwich is nothing. Like I'll be saying to my granddad, like I'm gigging Ipswich tonight. A, why would you want to go to Ipswich? And B, all the way to Ipswich, it's 45 minutes on the train. It's nothing really. But I wouldn't commute that far for a normal job, but I would for 10 minutes on stage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, Louis from Felixstowe, and he's really good. Yeah.
Tom Alban
lives in Norwich. Yeah,
lives in Norwich. Fantastic.
Yeah,
he's one of our favourite ones that you have on humour, especially when he does. He does like a hacker bit, which is great, and a Les Mis bit, which is incredible. He's a really good comedian.
Yeah.
There's Quang.
Yeah.
Quang Trang.
Yeah. From Cambridge. Well, from Cambridge. I believe it's Telford originally, but he lives in Cambridge.
Yeah, I remember it's one of his jokes actually. Yeah. Talks quite extensively about it. Quang, hilarious. Now, there's another guy that you had on a couple of Wednesdays ago. When this goes out, but actually it was last Wednesday. Okay. A guy called Scott. Bald guy.
Oh yeah, Oswald.
Right. Yeah. He was so good. Yeah. But his energy made me twitch.
Yeah.
And like I think I've got very mild ADHD, but his energy, I was there like twitching. I didn't know what was going on. Scary.
Yeah, he's very much a children's presenter. I like the energy he brought, and I saw him in London a couple of months ago, and I thought, I'll try and bring you up to Norwich. I thought he was quite good, and I thought he did well.
Did incredibly.
Did well. So hopefully he carries on, because I think he's fun.
He is so much fun, and he's got really, really high energy. And then you paired him directly after him was Alex.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last
name.
Freemuller. Yeah. So Alex, he has very low energy, very funny.
Yeah.
But very low energy. So that contrast of having them next to each other, that was something else. I was going into the future with that. I don't know what I felt, but it made me feel ill.
Yeah, it was a contrast. It was deliberate. Yeah. And I like Alex a lot. He is. I don't know if you listen to this shit, so we're fine. Lovely podcast. Not shit. No, he's very much a Marmite comic in terms of if an audience like him, they really like him. Yeah. If you're not on board with it, you just think, what on earth am I watching? Yeah. He's very low energy. He's very alternative. I really like him. He has me in tears. When he got that routine down properly, when he got it, really sort of, he knew what he was doing with it. I was in tears watching it. He's very, very good. He's I haven't kept hold of it, but I think he's got through to the semi-finals of the British Comedian of the Year. Wow. Which is a decent competition to be in. Yeah. I don't know if he got through to the final, but to get that far,
that's incredible.
I was pleasantly surprised. I genuinely didn't, not because I don't think he's good, because he has me in tears, but because of that Marmite thing, I didn't think he'd get through. He did it in Great Yarmouth as well. His heat was in Great Yarmouth at the Empire, another night that we run. Yeah. And when I saw his name come up, I thought, well, he's not going to do very well, because I know the room.
Eating alive.
Yeah, and the room is very much, they like gags, they like jokes, they like the set up punchline stuff, the knob gags and stuff like that. And so Alex comes on and just says comedy for 4 minutes. Yeah. I didn't think it would do very well, but I was wrong, and I was happy to be wrong in that case. So, but he's very good. Very good.
Ipswich, okay. There's also I've got some more names written here as well. Josh Watmore,
Wisbeach.
Okay. Again, very funny comedian. Like, he's one of your favourites as well, isn't he, Ro?
Jam spoon.
Yeah, he does the jam spoon joke, which you love.
Yep.
It's very good.
There's also Nelson.
Yeah, Norwich.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. James.
Outside of Norwich, I think it's like Taysborough or Long Stratton or someone like that.
Sure. What's his last name?
Hollis.
James Hollis. Of course it is. Yeah, he's very funny as well. I like James. And on the Thursdays at Pogue Mahone's down Prince of Wales in Norwich is Kira Jack. Yeah. She's incredible. Yeah. She's very funny.
She's perfect for that room, because it's an Irish bar, and I don't know if Kira ever mentions that she's fucking Irish. She's not. She's lived in Colchester all her life. And she's got an American mum, but she keeps that one quiet in conversation for some reason.
She does.
But it works really well. It's an Irish bar. She's Irish. It's what's the crack with Kira Jack? It just works. And she's very good with an audience. She's really good at emceeing. She's good with the chat, and she can just keep a conversation going. I don't know if it's a woman thing or an Irish thing, half Irish thing. I was waiting for stuff to be thrown at me there. But she's just very good for that night, and that night's great. It's a shame the room isn't bigger in Pogues.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's a perfect room for low ceiling, funky mic. It's decorated. I sound like Lawrence wearing Bowen here, but it's decorated lovely like a comedy club. It's just a shame that you've got that wall separating it. If you knock that wall through, made it a big room, it'd be perfect.
So why don't you hire a space in Norwich specifically to be a comedy club?
So that's the aim.
Okay.
So because, to go back to Norwich not having a circuit, I've had to introduce that circuit. So that's why I've got 3. We will have 4 nights eventually: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sure. That's why at the minute we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in 3 different venues.
Well, let's go into them a bit more. So Wednesday is at BrewDog.
Thursday's Pogue Mahone's. Yeah. Friday's at the Bowling House.
Okay.
Bowling House is kind of, not to do disservice to the other 2 venues, but it's kind of the flagship where I'm kind of trying to build stuff there. Jack at the bowling house is fantastic. He's always been supportive.
Oh, Jack Cannell?
No, the owner.
Oh, right, okay. That makes more sense. Channel.
Yeah, so there hasn't been a circuit, so I've had to introduce that. So by doing this over 3 venues, you're starting to get people who would just go to these venues anyway.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, well, you're now Huma fans, and now you will come to Huma wherever we go. And we're kind of seeing that. It takes about 5 to 6 years to build anything.
Yeah.
So we're still about 2-3 years into this properly being a thing. And the event, the game is to have Huma above the door.
Yeah.
And it'd be Huma Comedy Club,
Cool.
bricks and mortar, or even if it's in one of the venues permanently, so we have that space all the time, and it just becomes known as Huma Comedy Club. Is kind of the end, but we're years off that, because you still talk to people and you go, oh, I didn't realise Norwich had a comedy show, let alone a circuit. Or Red Card is the only thing that people know at the football ground, and you're now going to say, what's Red Card? You're fine to do that, because even Red Card's been at the football ground for 20 years, and people still don't know that's there.
So I've seen the posters on the back of toilet doors for Red Card, but I've never gone.
It's a fine night. It's a nice pro night. Michael McIntyre did it back in the day.
Wow,
that's how long it's been going. But even people who live in Norwich and have lived in Norwich their whole life, don't really know what Red Card Comedy Club is.
Right.
So that's how much work whoever comes in to make a comedy club would have to do.
Yeah.
And people have tried. There's a brand called Jonglers that had monthly nights back where Project, where Gravity is now.
Oh yeah.
So it used to be a nightclub that used to have a night in there.
Okay.
And nights have come and gone.
Yeah.
But it's never had someone like who. I'm not saying well done me, but it's not had that brand consistently there. But well done me. To be there and to go, look, here's the local acts, and we've noticed this now. Like, there's probably a handful of acts actually from Norwich or Norfolk, and now because we've got all these nights, it's more opportunities for local acts to develop.
Yeah.
We've probably tripled the amount of acts in the local area, which is a bad thing because it's less work for me.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing really, because it's created a circuit and lots of people having a go, which is nice.
I'm gonna say this on camera, which I'm nervous about. I would like a slot.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Don't do that, please. I'm really nervous because I don't like getting. This is fine because no one's watching this live, and let's face it, no one's watching it in the future either. But
this isn't going to be on Dave. Let's put it that way. It's not being repeated. This isn't the Top Gear of podcasts.
No, a lot of TV presenters start with podcasts and online. So one day I'm going to be on Dave.
And there's some podcasters that just do fuck all as well.
That'll be this one. I just wanted something to do.
Go for it.
I got 22 subscribers, but I'd love to just have a little 5-minute set.
We have to do with ours.
In the future though, maybe like January.
Yeah, all right.
January.
We can have a drink. We'll go for your set. We'll go for your 5, and then we'll put you on.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm gonna be a comedian. Wonderful. So I think that's. Oh yeah. We should get the buzzers.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's everything. Thank you very much for coming and being our first official guest outside of myself, Rowan, and Josh.
Awesome. Thanks for having
me. Before we end, have you watched any of the episodes?
Yes.
Have you?
No. But I will.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
Quite
good looking, isn't it?
Well, thank you very much. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like, follow, and do all that jazz. Stay excellent, and we will see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Guys.
Lunch. Oh, well, yeah.